How nice is it to be able to turn on your computer in the morning knowing that if you play by the rules, trade with discipline, and stick to your methodology, that the probability of a successful day is high? Every single month, I can count on one hand how many losing trades I've had. Don't you think that consistency allows me to be extremely confident? I know that on any given day, I'm going to be able to make money. Why would I think otherwise? Making a little bit every day will allow you to trade throughout the trading session with confidence and control. If any of that sounds familiar, then this is not the first video of mine you've watched. Those are rules from the 25 Rules of Day Trading Discipline by Doug Zaleski. I live and die by these rules. There's nothing I fear more than being an undisciplined day trader. In this video, I go over a pretty typical couple of trading days. I only trade SPX, 0 DTE, and credit spreads. I pretty much just rotate through the same 3 or 4 setups every day. Not even every day. I usually only trade 3 days a week, including this week I'm about to go over. Nothing in this video is a secret. I have gone over these exact setups in great length on other videos here on my YouTube channel. So take a look. Hi friends, here is the chart for Monday, April 1st, first day of the month, first day of quarter 2, year 2024. Of course, I'm on a chart for SPX. And the time frame is 15 minutes. I pretty much just live on a 15-minute chart. Sometimes I switch to the 5-minute, but honestly, I could just day trade off of this time frame every single day. And these are Pacific Standard Times. Okay, the first trade that I entered on Monday, April 1st was at 7:08, and that was triggered by the opening range. And so I define the opening range by the high and the low of the first 15-minute candle, and I only use these 2 levels all day long for triggers for this trade. The first breakout of the opening range happens on this second candle here to the upside. I don't trade that. I wait until it breaks the low of the opening range, and at this time, I sell to open a 5-wide call credit spread. I was short the 52.70 strike. Obviously, that's a little bit off of this chart. I fill it at 80 cents and I buy to close it a very short time, exactly 10 minutes later, for 45 cents for a net gain of $35 a contract. Could I have held it longer? Of course I could have. Do I? No, because those are not my rules. I keep it super simple, 1 entry in, one entry out, and I don't manage the trade besides that. So that was a 10-minute trade, very easy because we have all this nice follow through. The second trade I tried to enter but didn't get filled on was the Magic 8 Ball suggested vertical that popped off at 7:30. It was for a call credit spread, and the suggested price or the time right at the suggestion was 55 cents. I put in an order to sell to open it for 70 cents, and it just did not pull back enough to fill 70 cents. And unfortunately, it goes to profit without me. I don't chase it. I think chasing is losing. And if the price doesn't come to me, it's okay. Oh well, I will try again another day. So that trade was a winner, but I didn't catch it. The second trade that I entered was a lunchtime iron fly, which lunchtime on the West Coast is 9 o'clock. So I centered, my rule is just to sell whatever the at the money strike is. So at this time, we're trading at 52.30. And that's where I center my strikes. I had 40 wide wings. I sell to open it for $13.50. And I close it a long time later, not that long, exactly an hour later, for $1 credit per contract. So it took about this time. The better trade would have been centering it at 52.35. Then it would have won in no time, 15 or 20 minutes. But I ended up being in the trade a whole hour because of this candle situation here, because I really should have centered it at 52.35. I don't know. It's fine. It's still won. It did not get threatened that badly. And yeah, that was all I traded on this Monday. Okay, moving on to Tuesday, April 2nd. I traded 2 trades on this day. The chart looks a little funky. We're looking here. I'm going to go over my second trade first, which was the opening range breakout. So again, I mark off the high and the low of the first 15-minute candle, and I only use those 2 levels all day. The first breakout happens here on this candle. I'm not even at the computer. The second breakout happens here on this candle. At this time, I sell to open a 5-wide put credit spread. I was short the 51.90, long the 51.85. I sell to open it for 45 cents. When the trade triggers this late, obviously premiums are going to be reduced, and I still want to be far out of the money. So to be honest, sometimes I just skip them when they trigger this late, but on this day I went ahead and entered it, and I just reduced my profit target. So I bought to close it at 20 cents only 10 minutes later. Could I have held it till expiry? Sure, but I just wanted to get a quick win in for the day, and I generally don't even trade on Tuesdays. So the first trade that I entered was a lunchtime iron fly that I entered at 10 o'clock because we were trading at this 100 level. And I love an iron fly at 100 level. So I entered it at 10.13, a 30 wide iron fly centered at 5,200. And I let it run a while because I put like bumper stops on them, and I ended up taking it off at 12.30 for $6.90, a net gain of $460. I'm actually going to insert a video here of how I put bumpers up, bumper stops, I don't know what to call them, to let winners run. I happened to make a video for somebody on this day, and so I'm just going to enter it here on this YouTube video, and hopefully it makes some sort of sense to you. So we had some discussion about settings, trailing stops on iron fly runners, and I just wanted to show an alternative, because if you're in a winning iron fly trade that you want to let run, I prefer to use this method to close out of it versus a trailing stop. So I am in a 30 wide iron fly. It's centered at 5,200. Normally I would never let a trade run like this, but because we're at a 100 level, I'm letting the trade run. The credit I received was $11.50. It's currently at $6.80, so I'm up almost $500 on the iron fly. And instead of setting a trailing stop based on the premium, I'm going to set a trailing stop that says if SPX moves above 52.05 or below 51.95, so 5 points above my center, 5 points below my center strike, then cut me out of the trade for profit. And those are just points where I guesstimate that I'll still have decent profit. So I come to set I already have the order set up here, but this is how I set that order up. So come to your trade, hit the buy button, come to the settings wheel, and then come over here and say if SPX goes above whatever your price is. For me, it was 52.05. Of course, you can pick cents or be very specific using highs and lows of recent candles. But I'm just, for the sake of ease, going to use 5 points above my center, 5 points below my center. So if SPX touches one of those levels, send my order to buy to close me out at whatever the mark price is, plus I usually use 10 or 15 cents. That should get you a pretty decent fill. And then that is it. And I'm just going to let this order work. The market is open for another 30 minutes. And so if SPX stays within that 10-point range, I have a better chance of hitting the center, and I can let my winner run. Okie dokie, moving on to Wednesday. April 3rd, I also traded 2 credit spreads on this day. The first trade I entered was at 7:15, a call credit spread. I was short the 52.30, long the 52.35. So look at this morning. We open here. We have a ginormous move to the upside, a 30-point move. This was prompted by some economic report. I don't remember which one, but I'm sure the expected move at the open was only around 20 points. So for it to move this much, you can pretty much easily assume that the premiums are exhausted. So I get short here. I sell to open that credit spread for $1.50. I buy to close it here after this first drop down at $1.10 for $40 net gain a contract. The second trade I entered was during that trade. I entered the Magic 8 Ball suggested vertical, which was a put credit spread. I was short the 52.10 5 wide vertical credit spread, so long the 52.05 strike. I sold to open it for $1.15, and I closed it 9 minutes later for 70 cents. So a very small move to achieve a profit target, $45 net gain a contract. I did not trade the opening range breakout because we never broke this level here. Easy day. I shared some thoughts on Instagram, and here they are. If you've heard me say this 100 times, sorry, but one of the greatest things about learning to day trade credit spreads is that you don't have to be perfectly right about the direction. The first trade I entered was a bearish position. I needed the market to go down. It didn't, but I gave myself enough room to be wrong before I was right again. When you're right, it wins quickly, as I was with my put credit spread. So also, you can be in both a bearish and bullish position at the same time. If you have the right profit targets and stop losses, then you can win on both directions. If you take away one thing from this video, let it be that day trading can be simple and stress-free. If you have strict rules, day trading is simple. If you trade small size, day trading is stress-free. If you master your methodologies, you will be coasting. I have made longer, slower, in-depth videos on the Axe spread, the Magic 8 Ball, iron flies, vertical spreads. There are some days that these trades trigger and I skip them. So knowing when to skip trades and stay on the sidelines is key. But everything I trade, I can trade from my phone with one eye closed. I'm not sitting in front of my charts all day. I'm not obsessing over 1 minute charts. I'm not legging in and out. I'm not really even managing the trade. I'm just looking to buy to close for profit or buy to close for my stop loss. I'm about like as automated as I can be for a human 0 DTE trader. If you want a year's worth of recaps on the opening range breakout and to follow along on my trading log, I have linked to the ORB Deep Dive in the comments section below. At the time of this recording, my year-to-date win rate is 93%. I am so dang proud of that, and especially because of how simple it is. If you want to trade alongside me and other dang incredible 0 DTE traders, join us at Axe Options. Happy 2024, you guys. Keep learning and stay disciplined.